conversation. We're talking about divorce. You should have seen the commercial break. My goodness. So the average cost of a divorce is about $15,000. And we brought in two attorneys to talk us through what it is like in 2019 to divorce and the financial things at stake. Vicki Ziegler, divorce attorney, and Ann-Margaret Carrozza is an asset protection attorney. Welcome, both of you. Leslie, you stayed around with us. We have, before we get started, Sarah Burgell. Let me get you to stand up. Sarah, you are currently separated?
I've been separated for about a year, yes.
And obviously, you know, we're embracing the journey and the positive nature of it, but it's not an easy decision for anyone.
That's true. You know, we had a baby. I actually had a baby before I got married. And I think right after I had my daughter, I loved her so much. But at the same time, I had like a massive identity crisis. It's interesting that you guys were having the motherhood conversation as well this morning, because I really went through that. And I think my priorities just changed so much. And I didn't know who I was. I was used to being this sort of carefree party girl, and I still kind of am, but, you know, and then all of a sudden I was this stay-at-home mom with crushing anxiety, and I was trying to reckon with all of my life's choices. And
how long were you married?
We were married about 8 years.
8 years.
Still are.
And you've been separated a year?
A year. Mm-hmm.
How are you doing now?
I'm actually in my year of 5 boyfriends also right now, but yeah. But it's been really hard. It's definitely been really hard at times, and just trying to feel stable on my own 2 feet, and just financially speaking, like that is just starting to get pieced together.
And that's what we brought these. Well, first of all, let me give you a hug.
Oh, thank you.
I told you I'm in a hugging mood.
Awesome.
I'm in such a hug mood. I'm going to hug everybody in this audience in a second. Let me bring in Ann-Margaret. You heard Sarah talk about the financial aspect of this. There's an article I recently read that more divorced couples are staying together in the house but living in separate rooms because they can't afford to move out from each other.
Yeah, so there's some real practical advice that I want everyone to think about in this situation. First, we want to change the passwords on all of our accounts. Oh, wow. We want to really think about what could be used against us if things turn contentious.
So you've got to go in thinking this is like War of the Roses?
And at the end of the day, we divorce a very different person than we married. Yes. So keeping that in mind, I would look for a post office box key on my spouse's keychain to see if maybe there is secret savings or secret spending. And I'm going to look at my phone to see if there's an app I don't recognize, like a GPS tracker. So things can get very contentious, and we want to protect ourselves.
You think you should go in armed for a possible battle rather than believing that maybe we can deal with this, you know, what is it, conscious uncoupling like Gwyneth Paltrow?
Yeah, we're hoping it's going to be amicable. Yeah. We're going to do everything we can to get on the same page with a co-parenting plan, decide who's going to get custody of the pets, really isolate the
narrow
issues
it down.
That we
I would say the devil lives in the gray. And Vicki, you talk about like social media and all of these things looking at as well.
Listen, divorce is not easy, but it's a necessity for people that are unhappy. So we're always talking about social media. Number one, when one household is intact, everybody knows most of your other spouse's password. You know how to get in. You can check emails. You have a shared computer. When you're thinking about getting divorced, that's a no-no any longer. You need to figure out how to separate, change your passwords, make sure that the social media content, that digital imprint that's once there, perhaps you need to delete some of the pictures where you're drunk with a glass of wine because somebody may say that you're maybe not a fit parent. Oh, you need to start thinking about your prior history of social media and what you've been posting and what you're going to post in the future. It's crucial for people to really think about the next stages of their lives. And it's not the same when you're one couple and now it becomes 2 households.
Let's talk about kids real quick. Obviously, Leslie, we heard Sarah, she's got a child. I want to talk about the legal aspect of that, but the emotional part of having to explain this to your children, whether they're 2 years old or 22.
I think that quite often kids are a lot more aware of what's going on than we realize. And so in my case, my kids were in some ways quite relieved that we were finally getting divorced. But I want to say, to echo what has been said, is that the only reason I'm empowered now and that I was empowered as I got divorced was because I had always protected my financial independence. And not enough women are saying that to each other. And it's important to protect your children, But a key part of protecting your children as well is protecting your own financial freedom.
And real quick, go ahead.
Tamron, I'm a product of divorce. I became a divorce attorney to help couples, help children, and really try to get through the process in some type of calming way. Remember what you're saying on the phone to your girlfriends and to your family. The children are listening. Remember, both parents always love them. You brought them into the marriage. But when you're separating, don't badmouth each other. It comes back to haunt you. People lose custody when they do that.
Well, I want to point out Ann Margaret's book is Love and Money. It's available now, and everyone is going home with a copy of Leslie's book, The Naked Truth. As I said, you know, we were able to find the light at the end of this dark tunnel. No one, I think, wants to go through this, but this is real life, real talk, and real information. So thank you both for joining us. Leslie, you were a blast. We need to go have drinks. Sarah, we're thinking about you, and the best of luck on this next part of your journey as well.